We usually think of the universe as a giant machine, stars, planets, particles, all moving according to physical laws. Consciousness, in this view, is something that shows up late. Brains evolve, and suddenly there's awareness. But some scientists and philosophers are questioning that basic assumption. What if consciousness didn't emerge from matter? What if it was built in from the start? This idea is called Panpsychism. The theory suggests that even the smallest bits of matter, like electrons or quarks, might have some extremely basic form of subjective experience. That might sound strange, but it's an attempt to solve a real scientific problem, the so-called hard problem of consciousness. We can map the brain in stunning detail. We know which parts light up when you feel pain or joy. But why those processes are accompanied by conscious experience, what it's like to feel pain or joy, is still a mystery. No physical theory so far explains how matter gives rise to awareness. Panpsychism flips the problem around. Instead of trying to explain how consciousness suddenly appears at some threshold of complexity, it treats consciousness as a fundamental feature of reality, just like mass or charge. That doesn't mean everything is equally conscious. It means consciousness might be something that scales up, from extremely simple forms in particles to the rich inner world of a human mind. Interestingly, this isn't a new idea. Philosophers like Spinoza and Leibniz talked about versions of it centuries ago. But now, with developments in neuroscience, quantum physics and information theory, it's getting renewed attention. For example, some interpretations of quantum mechanics suggest that observation plays a role in determining physical outcomes. That's controversial and doesn't prove consciousness is fundamental, but it does raise the question of how mind and matter are connected at the most basic level. There are also modern attempts to formalize consciousness mathematically, like integrated information theory, IMIT, which tries to measure how tightly connected a system's internal states are. Some researchers see this as a step toward understanding why certain systems, like brains, generate consciousness. Now, to be clear, panpsychism isn't widely accepted and it raises plenty of tough questions. If particles are conscious, even in a primitive way, how do those experiences combine? How do you get from a billion tiny proto-conscious events to a unified sense of self? We don't have good answers yet. But for some thinkers, the fact that we're even conscious at all suggests our current picture of the universe is incomplete. Maybe we've been looking at it backwards, not asking how consciousness arises from matter, but how matter behaves if consciousness is already part of the equation. It might not be the final answer, but it could be a step toward one.